Hi there, welcome back to my channel, Anita by Design. I'm Anita, and today is part 3 of the mini-series on the Vibrant Serger by Babylock. If you missed parts 1 and 2, where I gave an overview of the machine and introduced you to all of the accessories that come with the serger, then you can take a look at those videos by clicking on the link in the description box below. I also announced in the first video that Babylock will be giving away one Vibrant Serger to a lucky viewer. And to get a head start on that, all you need to do is get subscribed here to my YouTube channel and over on my blog, anitabydesign.com. I will share with you at the end of the series how you can enter for a chance to win the serger. Today, I will be sharing with you how to thread the serger 2 different ways. Without further ado, let's thread those sergers. To demonstrate the tie-off method for changing serger threads, I'm going to use this black cone of thread and the green thread that's already on the machine. So the first thing to do is to create a loop with the green thread hanging upside down. Take the black thread and pass it through the front opening of the green loop and pull the black thread over to the right side. Then you will pass the black thread over the front of the green loop to the left side. Then using a sharp tool, pass the tool through the front of the green loop, over the front of the black thread to the back of the black thread, and pull the black thread through, creating a black loop. Then you will take both loops and pull them in the opposite direction to create a knot. One thing you'll need to do, which I did not demonstrate in the beginning, is you will need to cut away the old thread from the spool before tying your knot. The green spool of thread that was here, you will cut that thread close to the spool and then proceed with following the steps to tie the knot. Now, since I didn't do that in the beginning, I went ahead and tied all of the knots and then went back and cut the old thread away. And now you see I have the cones of thread on the machine. I used the spool discs on the bottom, and then I've placed the spool cap on all of the metal pins, and I'm placing it with the narrow end up top, and you would just press down and then take your cone of thread and place it right on top. Next, you will raise the presser foot using the presser foot lever, then lower the needle bar by turning the hand wheel counterclockwise away from you until it reaches its lowest point. From there, you're going to pull the needle threads from the back of the presser foot until the knots pass through the needles and the loopers. Now, if you have resistance when you start pulling the threads, what you want to do is reduce the tension on the left and right needle. So let's turn them all the way down to 0 so that there is no tension, and then pull the needles slowly until the knots come through. And you want to do this slowly so that you don't break the threads while they're passing through the needles and the loopers. Now I'm getting resistance here. My threads the needle threads are not going through the holes. So I'm going to turn the hand wheel clockwise towards me to raise the needles so that they will pass through easier. And I'm going to keep pulling the needle threads only until I can get them through. I'm almost there. I have the yellow one through. I need the red one through, so I'm going to release the yellow and pull on the red. And they're both through. Now I'm going to continue pulling on the looper threads, again slowly until the black thread is through. Now I see that the black thread has come through on all 4 threads. So I'm going to continue to pull until I have nothing but the black threads. And there I have the 4 black threads, and your machine is threaded. Starting at the back of the machine, I've loaded all 4 spools of thread onto the metal pins located on the extended table. Then I've placed spool caps on top of each spool of thread, and the thread is wound or is hanging off to the left side so that when you're sewing, it will unwind in a counterclockwise direction. Then we will go up to the thread guide and feed the threads through the guide. Starting with the pink, I will feed the thread from the back of the guide through to the front and just allow it to hang there. And then we'll do the same thing with all 4 threads. The green thread and then the blue thread. Then we'll go to the front of the machine and continue threading. Now we're looking at the top of the machine, and we're going to begin by threading the upper loopers. Now the threading process for this machine is color coded, which makes it really easy to follow along, and it removes any of the guesswork that you may have threading the machine from scratch. Now here we have the lower looper and the upper looper, color coded green and blue, and on the top we have 2 metal clips. The right clip is for the lower looper, the blue thread, and the left clip is for the upper looper, the green thread. So we're going to start with the blue thread, and we're going to take it between our fingers with both hands and pull it to the left until it clicks. Then we're going to feed it through the opening of the tension guide. We'll do the same thing with the green thread. Hold it in both hands between your fingers, pull it over to the left under the clip, and feed it through the tension guide. Next, we're going to use the color-coded threading chart to continue threading the loopers. And not only is the threading chart color-coded, but the thread guides over to the left are also color-coded. Starting with the lower looper thread, the blue, we're going to feed it through the first guide by pulling the thread over to the left. Then the next guide is here. We're going to take the thread in both hands and pull up until it clicks. And then the next guide is here. Again, with both hands, we're going to pull over to the left until it clicks. Then we're going to use the hand wheel and turn it counterclockwise towards us until the last hook is exposed. And we're going to pull it up until it clicks and turn the hand wheel clockwise away from you until this eye is exposed for the lower looper. And we're going to feed the thread through the eye, and then we're going to use the tweezers that came with the machine, and we're going to pull that thread through. I'm going to reach from the back and continue pulling. Got it hooked on something. Okay, I'm going to pull it over in front of that hook. Now for the green thread, pull it to the left in the first thread guide. The next one is here. We're going to pull it up. The next one is here. We're going to put it in back of here of the hook, and there you have it. We're going to turn the hand wheel counterclockwise towards us, and then I'm going to feed it through the eye. Using the tweezer again, I'm going to pull that thread all the way through. Before threading our needles, we're going to turn the tension dials down to 0, and the reason we're going to do that is to release all of the tension so that we can easily feed the needle or the thread through the guides. So here we have the right needle, which is orange, and the left needle code is red. Starting with the right needle, we'll take our yellow thread, and I imagine they gave us yellow thread because orange would be too close to the red. So we're going to go ahead and feed the thread from the right. There are 2 metal guides on top for the needles. We're going to feed the thread from the right, pull it over to the left. Then we're going to feed it from the left, pull it over to the right, and it's hanging over the top of the guide. Then we'll take the thread and feed it through the right side of the tension guide. Same thing with our red thread. From the right side of the guide, pull it to the left, feed it through the left side of the guide and pull it through the right to the right. It's hanging over the top, then feed it to the right side of the tension guide. Next, with the yellow thread, I'm going to feed the thread under the first hook, up and over the next two hooks. Then I will pass it through the back of the thread guide on the right, the needle guide on the right. Then thread it through the eye of the needle. With the red thread, same process with the red thread. Pull it under the first guide over the top of the two hooks and then thread it through the left thread guide and then thread your needle. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If so, please hit the like button below and don't forget to join me here next week where I will show you how to use the serger. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.